everyone. Welcome back to our weekly wellness podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Rebekah, and today we are joined by Dr. Rodney Robertson, our Director of Wellness and Personal Growth. So welcome back, Dr. Rodney.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, likewise, glad to have you here.
Okay.
Today we're going to be talking about a topic that I think a lot of veterinarians and technicians and probably the public in general would benefit from, which is how to become your own advocate. Just to start off on that subject, Dr. Rodney, in your mind, what does it mean to be your own advocate?
Okay. Actually, in Greek, which is where our word comes from, the word advocate actually was a reference to the defense attorney. Okay?
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
So an advocate is somebody who is defending you, against accusations of others.
Right.
So when it comes to self-advocacy, it's all about me defending myself. Now, it's not defense in a crime or something else like that. It's just that's where the word comes from, is that advocacy as a defense attorney.
Yeah.
So I'm here to defend myself or to prepare myself for more success. I've got to speak up for myself because no one else is going to speak up for me.
Right.
And so it's a very important part of who we are as a person, not only professionally, but even at home. I need to advocate for myself at work. I need to advocate for myself at home. It's not one or the other.
Okay, interesting. And why do you think this is important specifically in veterinary medicine?
Advocacy, not only in veterinary medicine, but any kind of workplace, is a secret really to your success. Because people have to see and hear you, notice what you're doing, and if you're just going to sit in your office all day and never come out and say hi or do anything else, they don't even know what's going on. They won't know you as well. Now, this is not an issue of personality. I don't want to get in, I'm an introvert, or I'm an extrovert, it's good for extroverts, it's not good for introverts. That's not true.
Right.
An introvert that's even shy has to learn how to advocate for themselves, not only at work, in front of their supervisors and stuff, but also at home with the family members. If you're not going to advocate for yourself and the family, there's going to be all kinds of negative consequences, and the family's going to be a really tense environment. Not that any of you have ever noticed that. So advocacy is my willingness to speak up for myself, so that I am in control of the way others see me, instead of them determining my value or how they perceive me. If I don't speak up and show them who I am, that's when that's going to happen.
If you're a DVM struggling with a lot of the issues that we talk about on this podcast, scratch that. If you're a DVM struggling with even just one of these issues, I hope you'll consider joining us at one of our weekly wellness rounds. We're an online community of veterinarians who come together every week to discuss our experiences and our struggles when it comes to mental health, or even just things that are affecting us week to week. This is a time that I personally look forward to every week because it lets me take a break to really invest in myself. Moderated by our very own Director of Wellness and Personal Growth, Dr. Rodney Robertson, Weekly Wellness Rounds is somewhere you can gain perspective and wisdom from other veterinary professionals who've gone through similar experiences. Whether it's a challenging client, a heartbreaking case, or simply just not the best day, Weekly Wellness Rounds is a time where you can come and just lay it all out there. And if you're not the sharing type, that's also perfectly fine. You can always just hop in and listen to people who are going through similar struggles. You can register and join our weekly wellness rounds by visiting our DVM support website at mypetswellness.net/DVM support. And no, this is not only available to My Pets Wellness doctors. Whether you're in California, Connecticut, Florida, Alaska, or somewhere else entirely, this is a time where any and all DVMs are welcome to join in the conversation. Weekly wellness rounds are held via Zoom on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. So come join us and see how a community of doctors just like yourself can not just survive in vet med, but can thrive in it. We hope to see you there. So you mentioned for example, in a workplace, coming out of your office and just being your own advocate and kind of having people get to know you in your own way and in your own terms. What steps, other than that specifically, can we take to become our own advocate? What do we need to be keeping in mind, or how can we do that?
Well, I have this divided into 4 different points, all starting with a C.
Okay, that's fun.
But the first 2 are inward. And you have to do the inward steps before you could do the outward steps. So again, I want to say it is about getting out of your office and being seen and heard, but it's also about being very direct in the way you communicate to people at home and at work so that they can understand what your needs are, what value you bring, okay, and what your wants are. If you don't speak up and explain those things, they don't have ability to read your mind and know what that is. Okay? So the first step at doing this advocacy better for yourself is clarity. You have to understand what your needs and wants are. Do you? Do you really?
Sometimes.
This is the introspective time period. Before you come out and advocate for yourself at home or at work, you have to yourself know, what are my actual needs and wants? What is my plan at work? How much do I want to succeed? How high do I want to go? Am I comfortable where I'm at, which is fine, or do I have other dreams and plans? So you have to go through a period of time which is all introspective, where you're just actually thinking through, what are those needs and wants? What is the plan in order to get to where I want to get? Because you have to have that as almost a target of clarity before you can go out and clearly then advocate for that to somebody else. Because you can't clearly express it to somebody else if you can't clearly define it for yourself internally. So you start there, first of all, with that part of it, okay? Then there's another part that's actually important. This is where it gets back into, it doesn't matter if you're an introvert or an extrovert. Admittedly, extroverts have a little bit better, easier time advocating for themselves, and introverts might struggle with that. But the way to overcome that as an introvert is through confidence. First thing is clarity, second thing is confidence, which is an internal process as well, based upon introspection. Now, confidence is not arrogance. They're two separate things. Arrogance is connected with proudness and all of that kind of stuff. Confidence is, I know who I am, I know I bring value, I know what I do well, I know what I don't do well. Okay? So you have to, after you have a plan, you know what your needs and wants are, you have to have a belief in yourself. You have to know who you are. Okay? So that as you later come out now and start advocating for yourself, you can express clearly by your confidence that I know what I'm doing, I know what I need, and I know what I want, and this is how I bring value. You're making a huge error if you're assuming everybody knows where you bring value, not only at work but at home. You might think, well, everybody knows what I'm doing. Well, really? Do you know what everybody else is doing? Probably not. We spend most of our times doing our job isolated from everybody else. They might later see the outcome of that work. Okay? They might not see what areas you're skilled at. So you've got to think that through first yourself and have the confidence, make a list. This is what I do well, this is what I don't do well, this is my strengths that I want to focus on when I'm going to advocate for myself. And again, just don't assume everybody sees that. It's not a good choice to make if you think that that's actually, everybody's aware of it. I mean, just not the way it works. Okay.
That's a good point.
Then you go into the outward steps. Those first two are inward. Clarity of what my plan is, what I want to do, what my needs and wants are. Confidence in myself. I know where I bring the most value. I believe in myself. I deserve this. Okay. So now, forgetting whether you're introvert or extrovert, if you've done those first two steps, you can then go out and communicate through conversation. That's the third thing. Okay. So you have conversations with people. Specific conversations. Okay. Now, don't be annoying and bother people all the time, but you initiate the conversation. Go into your supervisor and said, I'd like to talk about this thing that I've been thinking about, and can you give me some time? And they'll give you time. Then you go in there, you advocate for yourself. This is what I think might work. Here are the skills that I bring to this particular plan. I'm willing to work with somebody else if there's others that can bring value as well. But I think that this is something we need here at work, and this is a project I'm willing to work on, and this is why I'm talking to you. So you initiate that conversation. Don't wait for them to come to you when there's already a fire that needs to be put out. Then they come to you and you're putting out a fire. This is getting ahead of the game. There's no fire. We're going to prevent the fire because this is a need that we have, and I'm going to initiate that conversation so that they can see and hear you. Okay. They know that not only you're doing your job, but you're also thinking outside of the box and what your job is to find other areas of need. That's going to be a valued characteristic of a valuable employee.
Right.
So you've got to speak up. Can't wait for them to come to you. So then you have a conversation.
Okay.
When you have that conversation with them, it will change the way they perceive you. I guarantee it.
Okay.
Even as an introvert. And I never even thought that they were that ambitious or that they were that creative in their thinking.
Right.
You're showing that.
Okay.
And so that communication aspect is essential. Then the last step is to create opportunities. Okay?
Okay.
So what I mean there is, so you've got your clarity of what your plan is.
Yep.
You have some confidence built up. You're initiating the conversations.
Right.
Now you create opportunities. It kind of goes back to that conversation that you're having. You should be constantly looking around you. How are things actually going? And is there an area that you see that nobody's touching that can bring some value, not only through yourself, but also to the team in general? And so if you're really creating those opportunities, that'll give you more ways to actually reach out and ask for a conversation.
Right.
So you've got to be constantly thinking and observing. Now, by the way, this is the same thing in a family, I think.
Yeah.
Okay? I speak up for myself. I know what I want and I need. I have value in myself. I want others to value me. I want to talk to you. And then same way at home or in personal life, be observant and maybe we should try this. Maybe we could do this.
Yeah.
It's that initiative that you're taking.
Yeah.
Which again, I'm going to insist has nothing to do with whether you're an introvert or an extrovert.
Anyone can do it.
If the introvert prepares for it
Yeah.
through those steps, they can do this very easily. Okay?
Yeah.
Then you kind of open up Pandora's box, because then they might be the first one to come to you the next time because they know that you're actually thinking of being creative and is wanting to be as So that's what I would say are the steps you have to take to initiate this.
Could you summarize those 4 C's for us one more time, just as kind of a take home?
Okay. First, you have to have clarity in your own mind, where you bring the value, what your needs and wants are. Then I have to have confidence in myself, going through knowing everything that I do well and what I don't do well, focusing on those so that I can go out in confidence. Then I first go out and initiate a conversation, asking for an audience to give you my ideas of not only what I see as a problem, but also how I bring the value to fixing that problem.
Right.
And then you look for opportunities constantly. You never stop for looking at opportunities.
Yeah.
To just, stick your head in the door and say, hey, can we talk about something, or this is what I'm seeing and observing.
The create the opportunities.
And that whole process will change the way your supervisors and your husband or wife or your partner look at you, see you very much differently.
Interesting.
Instead of just always hiding away, waiting for somebody to come knocking on the door and say, do you have any ideas? It's not going to happen. So it's being an advocate for yourself.
Well, and it sounds like that's something that anyone, like you said, regardless of introvert, extrovert circumstances, can really use those tools to be able to better, communicate their needs and communicate what they're able to contribute. Another C there for you. Perfect.
Yeah.
And what if we are noticing that someone else maybe is challenged with that they're not feeling that they're able to advocate for themselves? Is there anything that we're able to do to help that person?
Well, you can go up and say, I see this. Is there any way I can help? I can't do it for you, but can I help you in any way? Can I give you ideas on how to do it? Or can I go with you when you advocate for yourself?
Right.
Just as a silent partner, holding space for you. That might give them a little bit more confidence. And just having these conversations with people that are just kind of off in the corner or not seen and heard by anybody else. Because it is a key. It's not only a key to your success in your occupation, it's also keys to overcoming obstacles, being able to advocate for yourself. I've got a problem here right now. I need to speak up and say I've got a problem. I need help with the problem. I'm actually advocating for myself in that moment because I can't do it myself. I need more help. I got to advocate and ask for it. They're not just going to offer it unless you ask for it. So
Right.
it's all that kind of stuff.
So being present for them, holding space for them, just sharing your own experience with
Right.
it, potentially help people just know, like,
And encourage them they could do it, because I really do believe anybody and everybody can do this.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
That's awesome. The 4 C's. We'll be
4
sure to to post that so everyone has a very clear idea of what that looks like and how they can make it happen. So thank you so much for joining us today, Dr. Rodney. As always, it's been very informative. So really appreciate it.
It's always my pleasure to talk and share what I think I know.
Yeah, really, really appreciate it.
So I enjoy this every single time.
Likewise, and we look forward to the next time. And to all of you who've joined, thank you so much for joining us today. And we're excited to see you for the next weekly wellness podcast. Take care.
Bye.